Good evening, everybody. Matrix here, and here's my watch list for March 28th. Okay, taking a look at the futures right now, we are down gapping ever so slightly. Take a look here. After the down gap from 6 o'clock, we are reaching, just consolidating a little bit above today's lows. Okay, so with that said, let's bring in the SPY chart. Gonna be anticipating a gap down tomorrow on the overall market. So let's bring in the SPY. This is today's lows on the SPY, right? So at the 278, and we're consolidating a little bit above it right now. So I would say we're currently probably going to open a little bit around the 278.50s area. Okay, so going into the daily chart real quick. 278.50s. Ooh, we are sitting right at a very key, crucial support area here at 278.50s. If I take a look here and zoom in a little bit, it's basically the high of this candle, right? Where the massive dump happened. Right here as well, big dump. Right here at the retest. So we're sitting at a very crucial support area. Okay, so what I want to see is a gap down under it, and then a pop test back up, and then a pull down. Perhaps tomorrow or by Friday, we might get it to pull all the way down to the 50 SMA over here on the daily chart. Or if it happens tomorrow, then Friday we might get a small, slight rebound. It really depends on what it does around the lows tomorrow. With that said, going back into the intraday, SPY really had trouble at the 280s. Okay, so we're once again back into this 280s area of resistance, and if you want to mark it up a little bit more today, late day by the close, we topped out at 280.30ish. So I'll give it up to 280.40, 280.50s area. So very slight resistance zone. As long as the overall market stays under the zone, it's looking like a bearish market to me. This is a 5-minute chart, so let's zoom out a little bit. Yep. So I do like that thesis. Okay, as long as it stays under 280, I like for the pull down. Overall, we are following a very clean downtrend right now, right? So pretty clean for the past few days. Look for a pop and drop. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's get into the watch list. First up, main watch, Lulu had earnings after hours, and I absolutely love Lulu. This is going to be main play for sure. Intraday fundamentals, their earnings beat revenues. Guidance is in line in Q1, and guidance beat on for the year of 2019. Q4 revenue beat by 10 cents EPS. So basically, it's a very upbeat earnings chart. Let's take a look at Lulu on daily chart here. This massive gap up is the last time they had great earnings and a beat, and then we had basically flat open and then a rip and a dip, and then the next following day we had another rip. Okay, and then over here, I believe around this area is when they had the other earnings, where they had bad earnings or something like that, and September, December, yeah, where they had bad earnings and it dumped, and now we had good earnings once again. So overall, I do like the long side of this chart. Lulu fundamentals very, very strong. Retail sector, probably one of the best retail brands out there, in my opinion, on luxury goods. So I do like Lulu. As I was watching the tape today, after hours, I saw a big bid at 160 as well as 159.75. So this is going to be my first area of support here. I saw a huge bid. Okay, so that's support number one. Support number two, I have 158.75 and 159. So right there is support number two. So 25 cents area, nice psychological hold number. And I believe the 159 plays here as well on the daily chart. So let's take a look at that here. 159. No? Yeah, kind of plays from last time it had upbeat earnings. Okay, so 159. And then finally we have support number 3, the 157. Okay, so mark that. And how I got 157 is the 1 minute chart. The first minute when it pops, pulled back, held, and then the buying starts coming in right here at 4:08 p.m. Okay, look at this massive volume here on 4:08, and this is support number 3 in my opinion. So 3 levels of support to watch for the dip to hold. As far as resistance goes, I like 162.50. So I'm gonna mark right here. Mark that off, 162.50. As you can see, after hours, we made a nice flat ceiling here. Okay, so mark that off as first resistance. And then we have 163, which is a key psychological whole number. I believe it got as high as 163 as well. So today, after hours, 163 is today's after hours highs. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, I know the line's a little tight to see. If I zoom in, you'll see the full perspective. And then resistance number 3, we have a key psychological whole number of 164. So you'll see that over here at 164. Just get that right. It's basically, first of all, key psychological whole number. Second of all, it's from the prior earnings run, right, where it topped out. And then the opening candle of the next day as well. So 164, and then finally resistance 4. We have the high of this red candle, the 52-week highs, okay, at 164.80s area. Okay, so watching these resistance level, personally, I want to see a dip, okay, and hold at around the 160 area, and then long it and ride it back up to one of these resistance targets. Okay, so that's my plan on Lulu. Next up, we have Five Below. Also an earnings play. Today it had earnings, and the guidance was in line. The revenues was in line as well. Overall, not as upbeat as Lulu, but we are clearing a lot of levels here. And I actually do like this. This is very overextended. Let's take a look at prior to earnings. You see a nice uptrend. So people are buying this prior to earnings. So whoever bought yesterday, the days before, whoever bought around, let's see, probably in the midst of March, okay, they just hit the jackpot right now. Now, because it's so overextended and the guidance and the revenue fundamentals itself is not really that upbeat, I do expect the stock to pull back a little bit tomorrow at certain resistance areas. I don't expect it to run as crazy as Lulu. Right now, we have obviously the 125 key psychological whole number, which made after hours highs today as a resistance number 1. And then resistance number 2 is the top of this wick at 126, right? This big volume candle here. And then resistance number 3, I see 127.50. I personally don't see the stock running higher than any of these. 127.50, very key, as you can see in this area here, right? And this whole lot is key resistance area right here. Zooming out. Yeah, also here last year, 127.5. Okay, so I definitely don't see the stock going over 127.5. As it's closing so strong after hours, I do anticipate a little run pre-market, a gap up. And then from there, probably right at the open, we'll start selling off and fill the gap. As far as the downside goes, on the support area, I see 122, 121, and 120. Okay, so mark that off. 122 is right here, 5-minute chart. You see how it popped up right here on this candle. There's buyers here, so support. And then the next support area, 121. Okay. after hours resistance now becomes support, and then 120 key psychological whole number, and where the stock actually closed today. So kind of expect that to be support as well. Okay, so that's 5 FIPE. Next up, we have Shoe Carnival announced earnings this morning. Totally missed the run up. Closed very strong on its earnings. What I do like about this chart is how strong it closed, right? You can see that there is a massive uptrend that it's following nice and tight. However, on the daily chart, we have a lot of key resistance. So first resistance is obviously 38 key psychological whole number, and then we have 38.50 and 39 as well. I want to mark out 39. And 39, very self-explanatory for those of you who've been watching a lot of my watch list. And 38.50, as you can see, a lot of support in this area on the daily chart. And then 39 is where it topped out, right? So with the stocks closing up so strong, I do anticipate a gap up, maybe around this area, and then just dump right back out because it's very, very overextended right now, and it does need a pullback day. As far as support goes, we have 37, 36.50, and 36. So 37, okay, 36.50, right about here, $50 mark, okay. Nice support here, and then of course the 36, which is a 200 SMA on the daily chart. So I do want to see a pullback to the 200 SMA. I do like a pop and then a drop tomorrow. But it is a positive earning, so it might keep running and just hold above around these highs. Okay, so watch out for that. Now, as far as side watches goes, Roku is always going to be on my watch. I played Roku today. Unfortunately, I didn't have much success on it. But it basically did what I called for it to do yesterday or last night. It basically dumped right at the open from 65, as I noted that there was algorithmic sellers here on 65, and from 65 it just cranks. Okay, what I'm watching for tomorrow is a retest of 63. Okay, if I zoom out on 63 here, you can see we are at 62 right now, so you can see this is a key level. 63 here. A pop and a drop would make this continue to the downside to the $60 level. I definitely think it wants 60. I just don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow or Friday. However, I just don't see it getting over 63 tomorrow. Make it 63 to 63.25 just to be sure, so we have a nice resistance zone, and I am anticipating a pop anywhere. If the stock starts trading around this area, I don't want to play it. I'm definitely watching for a pop. Roku can definitely squeeze. Today, I played it and I got squeezed, right? I basically shorted... I shorted right here. I shorted right here. No. Yeah. I shorted right here on this red candle. Okay, and then in a couple of candles I got squeezed out. This candle was 70 cents. Okay, and I covered out right here. Unfortunately, a little slow on my cover, but it is what it is. I saw this major snap, came back up, lower high, dumped right out of the gates, right? I did say that I didn't want to trade it unless it stayed under the 63.5 area, okay? And as it was thumping last night, I called the 63.5 to be a buyer's area, so it did snap, came back out and made a lower high. As it snapped through again, I shorted it right as it snapped through, and then basically it kind of held and squeezed me out, and then it failed. Okay, eventually it turned out to be a fantastic trade, but I wasn't included in it, so very unfortunate of me to miss out on this. I did play Baba today. Baba is also going to be a side watch. I did say watch 63, 63.25 tomorrow on Roku for a pop and drop. Baba, same thesis as last night, as I was talking about. I want to see a big snap of 177 and then stay under. And then from there, you want to see it target 175. Okay. So we almost had it today. It bounced right off. Definitely identified a key support area today. As you can see the action, it basically ripped, dipped, and held this 177. I personally took this trade short today after it tagged VWAP and then made a double top here at the VWAP. I took the short right around this area, and I got it down as low as here before it reversed, and I covered out a lot around this area, and then it closed right at its support area. I also shorted it right here just when it failed today, and I covered out right here as it reclaimed the 9 EMA, and I totally missed this lower high double top. Okay, this was the great trade of the day, right? I was talking about watching the 179 last night. Okay, so here's that 179. I did make a trade over here as I saw it come parabolic in the morning into the 179. As soon as I saw this candle fail, I literally shorted it right here as this candle broke. And then the next candle, it opened up, popped through, and I stopped out on this candle. And that was unfortunate, but I mean, if I were to go back and trade this again, I definitely will. This was according to my plan. This was a seller's candle, in my opinion, and it was a parabolic run-up. So I do like that trade. Took a paper cut on that. And finally, on another side watch would be Grubhub. Now, Grubhub, I think I played this last week. I talked about this and it was in my watch list. It was looking very weak, right? I think around these days was where I played it, and then I stopped playing it, and it's faded all day. Now the stock is coming to a true low right here, and I definitely want to be watching this 66.50 area. Okay, so gonna watch for pop 66.50, if not a little bit more up to 67. 67.25, and then a fail from there. The stock is looking very weak. It's about to reach its 52-week low if it hasn't already. Today it made a low at 65.50, so that's my first target. And if this snaps, then we have lots of room to come down to the $60 level, as you can see on the daily chart, on the very, very long-term daily chart here. Okay. Now, zooming out here on the 5-minute chart, as you can see, throughout these past 4 days, how it fades. Basically, it's stuffed right at, today it's stuffed at 68, yesterday it's stuffed at 69, and then the day before it's stuffed at 69, and then the day before it's stuffed at 70, okay? So today it's stuffed at 68. I'm gonna watch for 67 here, as you can line up these lows, okay? So stuff there, stuff there, right? Can basically line these up. So what I'll be looking for, I mean, there's a nice stair step pattern. I'll be looking for stuff here, okay? So just extend these across. See there's multiple bottoms here, multiple bottoms, okay? Right here and right here, right? And then tomorrow, watching for 67 because right there, okay? So watch for a pop and drop, 67 and down. First target 65.50, and then maybe we can snap it and go below. Second target 65 and then beyond. That's Grubhub. That's basically my watch list this evening. I hope you guys enjoyed what you watched. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Check out the video link description below for discounts to Trick Trade's chat room. Trick, my mentor, has changed my trading around ever since I joined them. And all this watch list and plotting, support and resistance level, planning, all because of him. The reason how I can actually execute such a beautiful trade on Baba today, because of him as well. I'm always going to give him credit for my success in day trading. So if you are a struggling day trader and you are sick of losing and sick of learning from people who can only flash their flashy P&Ls and tell you how much money they make, forget about those guys. Come to a real chat room where we actually care about your success, all right? Check out the video description below for discount, and I'll see you guys all bright and early tomorrow. Ciao.